Please enjoy our feature presentation. The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. Today's guest, Rodney Atwood.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Rodney Atwood, and I am originally from Dayton, Ohio, and I I know my sister Kim from way back in the day. So kind of going into it is that we would say whatever there was in a high it was a high school type of meeting, but actually I found out later in life whatever because of the family's connection is that I actually went to kindergarten with Kim and Sherelle. And didn't find out. Yeah. So I didn't find out until like later, as I was talking to Sherelle Stroud, that we actually were in the same kindergarten class. So the world is like really, really small.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, Fairport.
Yeah, we went to Fairport.
Exactly, yeah. So we were in the same kindergarten class as I started kind of doing some research and looking back. So
Uh,
we actually really go way back a little bit further than you actually thought. Yeah.
wow. I had no idea. I don't even remember Sherelle mentioning that to me. Or if she did, well, I'm sure she's going to be like, I did tell you, because she's the keeper of all things information, See, there it is right there. So anyway, that's good. Well, that's even better. Kindergarten. Okay, we go way back, like, diapers and things. That's pretty big right there. So,
Yeah.
and then we met each other again in high school. Yes. Did some years there. Okay, so like, you have any traditions in your family at all you want to tell us about?
Right. So, just talking about traditions first, I like just kind of thought and stuff about like what you would define a tradition. So, for the most part, like just thinking about traditions, especially being the African American in the United States, is that it seems like we're void of them, right? Like we're void of it when it comes comparing itself over to a lot of other, whether or not it's a people, a nation, races, is that we seem to be void of it in the United States. So I'll try to describe it as much as I possibly can and stuff, or in the confines and stuff, whatever what it was for me, right? So
Okay.
we're thinking about like sharing information, whether or not it's a verbal information, whether or not it's through actions, behaviors that we actually pass down to a generation, right? So that particular generation happens to be, for me, I would say threefold. So threefold in the sense of an oldest daughter, that is roughly around in her 30s, to a 19-year-old now, and to a 14. And so,
Yeah.
so with that particular movement of exchanging ideas and traditions, um, has been evolving. So I wouldn't say that it was something that was necessarily passed down to me. It was something that became an evolving and stuff over with the conclusion of my daughters. So they actually were able and stuff over to help and stuff where we evolve the traditions that we would do. And so I would say that your tradition would be necessarily like having movements. And those
Mhm.
movements will be sometimes defined as vacations or time spent. And within those
Okay.
traditions, ideally, what was to bring ideas together and allow each individual generation and stuff whatever to bring something to it. So allowing
Yeah.
them to bring their own ideas about what it is that we would do in the movement, whether or not, like I said again, included a vacation type of thing, or is that allow them where they are in their own space in their generation to bring something to the whole, and I would say that became a tradition. So
Okay.
giving you an idea would be allowing them to come in into the planning. So if it was that it was going to be a cruise, then it would
Hmm.
be I would include everyone and whatever that will be involved and stuff in the cruise, to have and find out whatever it is that they would actually want to bring to it, and then figure out how we do it as in a collective effort. And that comes from everything from planning from point A all the way to the end of it. So everybody kind of getting something out of it for where they are. And you have to do that. I feel like I
Oh,
had to do that as a father because they're all at different spaces and places in their life, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
understand that because I have a big gap myself between my kids. So I
yeah.
feel like Ashley had her set of rules, and then Avian has his set because they just in two different things. Well, that's very interesting. I never heard anything like that, but that's very unique that everybody gets a chance to communicate and bring to the table what they can. So what kind of things like what kind of things have you guys done together, like planned together already?
So I'll give you an example. More so like I'll say in the sense of a trip or in a planning, like
Mm-hmm.
planning out a movement, like with something having some type of adventure to it, something, a
Okay.
movement where we're actually doing something, and that something could be we choose a particular like a park or something like that, that would involve getting there, involve the planning of
Mm-hmm.
what will we eat. It will involve the planning of where everybody is for that particular, with that particular movement. And what I would do is make it inclusive for
Mm-hmm.
everyone. So I'll give you an example. An example was I had a trip with my youngest daughters, and this was in Florida. And so basically I brought the idea about, I wanted them to come up with something adventurous that would fall within where they were, so everybody could
Mm-hmm.
have and enjoy it as a whole, as a group, right? So they sat down, they planned, they came up with it, and then they came to me and we sat down collectively to figure out how we're going to actually go with it. And it was great because it allows them to stuff wherever to see things in a way where not only financial wise, I'm teaching them financial ways, because the trip and stuff wherever has a cost to it. I'm teaching them I'm
Of
teaching them how
course.
to manage it as you go through, as far as the actual time that you have too. So there's a lot of elements and stuff where we're bringing them together as a unit, as a family, to where it becomes like more so like a
Mm-hmm.
teamwork type of thing. And we kind of made that a tradition.
Well, I really like that, and you know what I really admire. I like the word movement because it lets me know that y'all gonna be doing something, that you are gonna be active, and that you're gonna be, just in
Absolutely.
this movement, and you're gonna be together, and you're gonna be in sync because everybody has brought something to it. No one is gonna be left out. Who does? That's what they would do. That's what they would do if you was if you was a poet. Like who does? Well,
Yeah.
all right. Well, let me ask you. Let me get to the legacy question because I'm okay. So now the legacy question is: if you were to leave this earth today, what would your legacy be? What legacy would you want to leave?
So I would say my legacy is described as um, L3, and L3 would be first love, leadership, and then a light. So the thought and stuff where it would be is that I would want my this is a particular legacy passed on to my daughter, is that one is that they understand that anything whatever they would do would have to involve love. So without the inclusivity and stuff wherever of love, then I wouldn't see any purpose in it. So there's no purpose in it and stuff where if they don't approach anything that they're particularly doing, if it doesn't have a love component to it, no matter what it is. When we talk about legacy, we're talking about same thing, whatever that's going to bring some people together. So if it is you don't
Mhm.
have love, it's hard to keep it together and stuff. If that piece is not in it, right? And so when I think
Right.
about leadership, right? And so I know this is inclusive, and this is a DNA type of thing, whatever, because my father and stuff, whatever, was a leader. Um, Without me even really getting that into my later part of my life and stuff about just how much of a leader he was, what I found out was not only was that same thing DNA in myself, it's just also in stuff in my daughters as well. They're leaders too. And
Mhm.
so it's important. I know this important because of leadership causes us and stuff where we're to be able to get out of situations and stuff where that we may be in when it comes to our families and our communities. One things that I found and stuff
Mhm.
where as being a leader is that, and being involved heavily in the community, is that a lot of things that keep people in a certain place is the lack of leadership. When you don't understand what leadership
Yeah.
is, and you don't understand how it is that who it is that what you is you need to follow, that's a leadership component. It'll keep you stagnated and
Mhm.
keep you into a place where you're not able to move.
Exactly. Understand
The
that.
last, of
I
course, would be the
understand that.
light.
You got.
and more so lining up and stuff in a spiritual way is that we need to be the light in this world. In order and stuff where to understand and stuff where about how people are going to be guided and stuff and the things that we actually do. So it's a speaking thing, it's a speaking type of thing, it's a movement type of thing, our actions and how we treat people. So it's all inclusive. So again, I call it the 3L, the 3L legacy.
The 3L, I got to write that down, the 3L legacy. So that's love,
you go ahead and write it down. It ain't copyrighted or nothing.
Well, it should be. It should be. Okay, so 3L, so that's love, leadership, and light. And we should be the light. Be the light that we want to see, right? For the leadership. Oh, I love that. That is wonderful. I can't wait to go back and look at this. This is Dominic, you hear your daddy, girl? Yes, that's awesome.
That's my girl. That's my girl right there, boy.
That is my baby, and she has just blossomed into this beautiful, beautiful woman, and she does exactly what you teaching her. Going out into the communities and helping those little babies and learning and teaching those kids. I love that, and so your legacy lives on through your girls, and I see your other girls through Facebook. I see them; they all look like you and everything. It's so beautiful. It's just really beautiful to see. Did you think you would have a house full of girls?
Absolutely not, right? Definitely not. But I will tell you, and I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy is that Dominique actually and stuff, where up to the point she was born, she was thought to be a boy, just because the placement of the umbilical cord. So when I got that call that you were having a girl and stuff, whatever, and I was in Desert Storm at the time, and so I was definitely excited. But I was definitely thrown off a little bit because up until that point she was a boy.
Yeah, so in your mind, you were a boy, right? Right.
Yeah. But I will tell you, but having the 3 girls has I will tell you, especially as a father and a man, it changes your life. I think totally different than it would if I did have sons. It changes your life because it is that the way and stuff wherever that you actually move, that these young faces and young ladies and stuff wherever are looking to you in the very beginning as far as what it is that they want to be, how they want to be treated, how they should particularly move and stuff when it comes to other men. So I knew that there was a responsibility and stuff wherever that I needed to have that was inherent and stuff wherever to the fact that God had blessed me with daughters, all 3 of them.
That's awesome. And now it's like the 3Ls. It's like one of them is leadership, one of them is life. I love that. Even though that's not what you meant, but you got 3 daughters. It kind of stands for the same thing. That is so beautiful. I just want to thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your words of wisdom, because I never thought of a tradition being in that kind of way. And I hope whoever's watching this, if they don't have a tradition, they can start doing that as well. Just having them just contribute like that. I just think that is such a beautiful thing. I really do. People really don't realize how much the traditions and legacy really mean in their lives, and then sometimes, we just go about it so fast, you don't really know or realize, this is in you. Just like you didn't even realize the leadership was in you until you went back and checked your history, your family history. And this is what I'm all about. This is
Absolutely.
What I'm going. All of this is about is family history, because once you know, then you can follow in your path and follow in your life. You know what I mean? You know where you're going because
absolutely
you know where you've been. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. Blessings. I appreciate you. I appreciate just you opening up your forum. I think this is going to bless a lot of people.
I hope so. Thank you so much. Let's speak that into existence. Thank you so much. Much love to you, brother, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Much love. Peace.
All right. Bye-bye. Hi, Miss Deborah Hassel. So much for watching. Please like and share The Little Green Dress Presents Traditions and Legacies. Also, click and subscribe.